In 1889, during the annual Independence Day celebration in the town of Millbrook, Connecticut, photographer William Ashford captured what appeared to be a typical small-town parade featuring local civic organizations, marching bands, and a theatrical troupe of clowns hired to entertain the crowd. What investigators discovered when they systematically counted the clowns visible in Ashford's photographs would challenge everything sociology understood about crowd dynamics and leave experts questioning whether certain entities could manifest within gatherings without belonging to any organized group. This investigation began on July 5, 1889, when Ashford developed his parade photographs and noticed discrepancies that he initially attributed to errors in his documentation. According to records discovered only in 1967 in the basement archives of the Connecticut State Historical Society, this seemingly minor photographic inconsistency would reveal phenomena so disturbing that federal authorities classified the findings at levels that remain restricted to this day. The Millbrook Independence Day Parade had been an annual tradition since 1876, featuring local businesses, volunteer fire companies, civic organizations, and traveling entertainment acts passing through the town's main street before crowds of several hundred spectators. According to parade organizing committee records, the 1889 event had contracted Cooper's theatrical company to provide a troupe of exactly 12 clowns to march in the parade and perform street entertainment. According to William Ashford's photographic journal, preserved in the Connecticut Historical Society archives, he had been hired by the Millbrook Town Council to create a comprehensive photographic record of the 1889 parade. Ashford's detailed account of his documentation process would later provide investigators with crucial evidence of what crowd behavior experts would classify as the most significant manifestation phenomenon ever recorded at a public gathering. Ashford's journal entry for July 4, 1889 reads, "Positioned myself at 3 separate locations along the parade route to capture the procession from multiple vantage points. The parade proceeded as expected, with civic groups, bands, and Cooper's clown troupe providing entertainment. I exposed 23 plates throughout the afternoon, documenting all major parade elements. The clown troupe appeared particularly popular with children, drawing crowds wherever they performed their antics." What made Ashford's documentation significant was what he discovered during the development process. According to his notes from July 5th, "Upon developing the parade photographs, I noticed an irregularity that troubled me deeply. I had documented the clown troupe at 3 different parade locations, expecting to see the same 12 clowns at each position. However, systematic counting revealed discrepancies. The first location shows 12 clowns as expected, but the second location appears to show 15 clowns, and the third location clearly displays 18 distinct clown figures. Most disturbing is that the additional clowns appear in photographs but were not visible to me during the actual parade." But there was something about the additional clowns that Ashford found increasingly disturbing as he examined his photographs. According to his confidential notes, discovered decades later, the extra clowns visible in photographs demonstrate characteristics that distinguish them from the contracted troupe. While Cooper's 12 clowns wear coordinated costumes in red and white with professional makeup, the additional clowns display inconsistent costumes and makeup that appears crudely applied. Most troubling is their positioning. The extra clowns appear at the edges of crowds, partially obscured by other parade participants, as if deliberately avoiding full visibility. The phenomenon extended beyond Ashford's photographs. According to witness testimony collected by the Millbrook Town Council following the parade, multiple spectators reported counting more than 12 clowns, with numbers ranging from 14 to 20 depending on location and viewing angle. Mrs. Catherine Morrison reported to the council on July the 8th, 1889, "I counted the clowns as they passed my position on Main Street, specifically because my daughter asked how many there were. I counted 18 distinct clown figures, though several appeared only briefly at the edges of the group before disappearing into the crowd. Most peculiar was that when I mentioned the count to my neighbor, she insisted there were only 12 clowns and accused me of miscounting." The investigation into the parade clown discrepancy began in 1967, when Dr. Harold Whitmore of Yale University was conducting research into historical crowd psychology and mass gatherings. According to his case files, preserved in the Yale archives, Dr. Whitmore's analysis of Ashford's photographs revealed patterns that challenged fundamental understanding of group manifestation and collective perception. Dr. Whitmore's initial examination of the photographs was part of his comprehensive study documenting crowd behavior at 19th century public events. According to his research notes, the Ashford parade photographs initially appeared to document typical small-town celebration with standard entertainment elements. However, systematic analysis of clown troupe composition across multiple photographs revealed numerical inconsistencies that demanded immediate investigation. What Dr. Whitmore discovered during his analysis defied everything crowd psychology understood about group perception and entity manifestation. According to his confidential report to the Yale University president, dated March 15, 1967. Systematic counting of clown figures across Ashford's 23 parade photographs reveals progressive numerical increase from 12 clowns at parade start to 23 clowns at parade conclusion. Most disturbing is evidence that additional clowns demonstrate characteristics inconsistent with human performers: unnatural body proportions, impossible joint articulation, and facial features that appear to be masks but show evidence of actual flesh beneath the makeup. The breakthrough in Dr. Whitmore's analysis came when he applied photographic enhancement technology to examine the additional clown's physical characteristics. According to his notes, modern enhancement reveals that the extra clowns display anatomical features that exceed normal human variation. Several demonstrate limb lengths inconsistent with human skeletal structure, finger counts exceeding or falling short of 5 digits, and facial proportions that suggest skull structures incompatible with human biology. Dr. Whitmore's detailed analysis revealed that the additional clowns appeared to materialize progressively throughout the parade rather than being present from the beginning. According to his technical report, sequential analysis of photographs shows that additional clowns manifest at specific parade locations, appearing in backgrounds of photographs taken at those positions, but absent from photographs taken minutes earlier at previous locations. This suggests the entities were not traveling with the parade, but materializing at locations where crowds had gathered. This was just the beginning of what would become the most disturbing crowd manifestation investigation in Yale University history. Dr. Whitmore's enhanced analysis revealed that witness testimony regarding clown numbers correlated with individual observers' psychological profiles. According to his research, individuals who reported seeing additional clowns demonstrated specific personality characteristics, including heightened anxiety, social isolation, and history of childhood trauma. According to Dr. Whitmore's technical analysis, systematic correlation between witness clown counts and psychological assessments reveals that individuals who perceived additional clowns shared specific trauma markers. Most significant is correlation with childhood experiences of feeling observed or followed. Witnesses who reported higher clown counts consistently described feeling watched during their childhood years by presences they could not clearly identify. The investigation took a more troubling turn when Dr. Whitmore attempted to trace the origin of the additional clowns through historical records. According to his research, similar unexplained clown manifestations had been documented at public gatherings throughout Connecticut and surrounding states during the 1880s and 1890s. Dr. Whitmore's analysis of regional newspaper archives revealed at least 37 reports of phantom clowns or extra performers appearing at parades, circuses, and public celebrations between 1882 and 1895. According to compiled testimony, witnesses consistently report counting more entertainers than were actually contracted for events, with discrepancies ranging from 1 to 12 additional figures. Most disturbing is the consistent description of these extra performers as appearing at edges of crowds, avoiding direct interaction, and demonstrating wrongness that observers struggle to articulate. But Dr. Whitmore's investigation revealed even more troubling patterns. According to his analysis, the phantom clown manifestations appear to correlate with specific crowd anxiety thresholds. Events where spectators experienced heightened collective stress, overcrowding, delayed start times, incidents of public disorder, demonstrate higher rates of phantom manifestation. This suggests the entities may be attracted to or generated by collective psychological distress. The investigation deepened when Dr. Whitmore examined what happened to spectators who reported extended interaction with the phantom clowns. According to medical records discovered in Connecticut hospital archives, individuals who claimed direct contact with the additional clowns experienced subsequent psychological effects that physicians described as manifestation sickness. Dr. Samuel Hayes of Hartford Hospital documented in October 1889, treating patient who claims extended interaction with parade clown that others insist was not present. Patient reports that clown spoke to him, providing information about his personal history that the patient had never disclosed to anyone. Most disturbing is patient's subsequent development of paranoid symptoms, including persistent sensation of being observed, belief that the clown continues following him despite parade having concluded months ago, and reports of seeing the clown's reflection in mirrors and windows when no one else is present. But the medical documentation revealed that manifestation sickness appeared to be progressive and potentially contagious. According to Dr. Hayes's confidential case notes, patients with manifestation sickness report that phantom clowns appear with increasing frequency in their daily lives, becoming progressively more solid and interactive. Most alarming is evidence that family members of affected patients begin reporting their own phantom clown sightings, suggesting the manifestation can spread through close social contact. The investigation took an even more alarming turn when Dr. Whitmore discovered that federal authorities had been systematically monitoring phantom clown manifestations since the early 1880s. According to classified documents discovered in Treasury Department archives, government agents had been investigating what official reports described as spontaneous crowd-generated entities at public gatherings throughout the United States. According to a classified memorandum from the Treasury Department's Unusual Phenomena Division, dated September 15, 1885, systematic surveillance of large public gatherings has identified recurring manifestation of entities that appear as additional performers, spectators, or participants, but demonstrate characteristics inconsistent with human attendees. These entities, which most commonly manifest as clowns or masked performers, appear to be generated by collective crowd psychology under specific stress conditions. Most significant is evidence that entities demonstrate autonomous behavior and may persist beyond the gatherings that generated them. Dr. Whitmore's investigation into federal monitoring programs led him to examine classified research into crowd-generated entity manifestation. According to documents discovered in War Department archives, military researchers had been studying phantom manifestations as potential psychological warfare technology since the 1870s. According to classified research proposals, crowd-generated entities demonstrate characteristics suitable for psychological operations, including ability to manifest in public spaces without detection, capacity to induce anxiety and paranoia in target populations, and apparent multiplication through observer attention. Military applications could include deployment at enemy public gatherings to create mass panic and social disruption. Dr. Whitmore's investigation revealed that the 1889 Millbrook parade had been deliberately targeted for classified research into entity manifestation. According to operational documents, the Millbrook Independence Day celebration provided optimal conditions for entity manifestation study. Large crowd in confined space, elevated collective stress from overcrowding and heat, and presence of costume performers that could mask entity appearance. Research observers documented progressive entity multiplication throughout event, with manifestation count reaching 23 distinct entities by parade conclusion. But the federal research revealed disturbing evidence that the manifested entities did not dissipate following the parade. According to classified surveillance reports, post-event monitoring indicates that manifested entities persisted in Millbrook area for approximately 6 months following parade, with systematic sightings reported by residents throughout town. Most significant is evidence that entities demonstrated increasing solidity and autonomous behavior over time, suggesting crowd-generated manifestations may achieve permanent existence under certain conditions. The investigation reached its most disturbing phase when Dr. Whitmore discovered documentation of what happened in Millbrook during the winter of 1889 to 1890. According to local newspaper archives and police records, the town experienced what residents described as a clown epidemic. Widespread reports of clown figures appearing throughout the community, particularly targeting individuals who had attended the July parade. The Millbrook Gazette, December 14, 1889, reported, "Town residents continue reporting sightings of clown figures at unexpected locations throughout the community." Multiple witnesses described clowns appearing at windows of private homes, lingering at street corners after dark, and following children walking to school. Most disturbing is the consistency of descriptions. Witnesses report seeing the same distinctive clowns that performed at the July parade, though Cooper's theatrical company departed Millbrook immediately following that event. But the newspaper reports revealed that the clown sightings appeared to follow patterns targeting specific individuals. According to witness testimony, the clowns appear most frequently to individuals who reported seeing additional clowns during the parade. Residents who counted only the contracted 12 clowns report no subsequent sightings, while those who perceived additional figures experience repeated encounters with the entities throughout subsequent months. Dr. Whitmore's investigation revealed that the persistent clown manifestations demonstrated increasingly disturbing behavior patterns. According to police reports from early 1890, residents report that clown figures no longer merely observe but have begun attempting interaction, knocking on windows, leaving objects at doorsteps, and in several cases, attempting to enter private homes. Most troubling are reports from children who claim the clowns speak to them, providing information about family secrets and predicting future events with disturbing accuracy. The investigation uncovered classified federal intervention in Millbrook during March 1890. According to Treasury Department operational documents, federal agents deployed to Millbrook to contain entity manifestation outbreak. Operations included systematic identification and isolation of individuals most affected by manifestations, along with implementation of crowd dispersal protocols designed to reduce collective psychological conditions supporting entity persistence. But the federal intervention revealed that the entities could not be eliminated through conventional means. According to operational reports, attempts to physically confront or capture manifested entities prove unsuccessful. Entities demonstrate ability to dematerialize when approached directly, only to rematerialize at nearby locations. Most significant is evidence that entities multiply when observed by groups. Single entity observed by multiple witnesses fragments into multiple distinct entities, each maintaining independent existence. Dr. Whitmore's investigation revealed that the Millbrook entity outbreak eventually subsided through what classified reports described as consciousness dispersal protocols. According to documentation, systematic relocation of most affected individuals from Millbrook area combined with enforced social isolation reduced collective psychological substrate supporting entity manifestation. By June 1890, entity sightings had declined to baseline levels, with remaining manifestations limited to isolated individuals who maintained psychological connection with original parade entities. But what Dr. Whitmore found most disturbing was evidence that similar entity outbreaks had occurred at public gatherings throughout the United States, with manifestations persisting in some communities for years or decades. According to his research, systematic documentation reveals at least 47 locations where crowd-generated entities achieved permanent or semi-permanent existence following large public gatherings. Most significant is evidence that these persistent entities demonstrate progressive evolution, developing increased solidity, expanded behavioral repertoires, and apparent consciousness that exceeds initial manifestation characteristics. The investigation reached its most alarming conclusion when Dr. Whitmore discovered that modern crowd research programs continued to study and potentially weaponize entity manifestation. According to classified documents from the 1960s, contemporary psychological warfare research includes systematic study of crowd-generated entity manifestation for deployment at target population gatherings. Modern techniques allow controlled induction of manifestations with specific behavioral characteristics designed to maximize psychological impact. Dr. Whitmore's investigation revealed that entity manifestation could be deliberately triggered through specific crowd management techniques. According to classified research documentation, systematic manipulation of crowd density, stress levels, and psychological priming can reliably induce entity manifestation at public gatherings. Most significant is discovery that entities can be pre-programmed through psychological conditioning of crowd members, causing manifested entities to demonstrate predetermined behaviors and characteristics. But the research revealed disturbing evidence that weaponized entity manifestation had been deployed at actual public gatherings. According to operational reports, experimental deployment of manifestation induction protocols at selected public events has successfully created controlled entity outbreaks. Post-event monitoring confirms that manifested entities achieved objectives including mass panic generation, targeted psychological trauma of specific individuals, and long-term anxiety elevation in affected communities. The investigation took its final disturbing turn when Dr. Whitmore discovered that his research had attracted attention from federal agencies responsible for entity manifestation programs. According to documents he obtained, his investigation had been monitored since he began analyzing the Ashford photographs. According to a classified memorandum from the Central Intelligence Agency dated May 8, 1967, Dr. Harold Whitmore's investigation into crowd-generated entity manifestation has identified classified psychological warfare programs that require immediate intervention, recommend termination of his research access, and implementation of standard security protocols to prevent disclosure of manifestation induction operations. Dr. Whitmore's investigation was officially terminated in July 1967 when he received orders from university administration to close his research and transfer all materials to federal authorities.
According to his final report, investigation into historical crowd psychology has revealed evidence of ongoing federal programs that exceed academic research jurisdiction. All materials have been transferred to appropriate agencies. However, Dr. Whitmore's private papers, discovered after his death in 1993, reveal that he continued investigating entity manifestation unofficially for the remainder of his career. According to his notes, he documented at least 200 contemporary instances of phantom performer manifestations at public gatherings, suggesting the phenomenon was increasing rather than diminishing. Dr. Whitmore's continued research revealed that modern mass media and crowd documentation technology appeared to amplify entity manifestation. According to his analysis, widespread photography and video documentation of public events creates permanent records that preserve manifested entities, allowing them to achieve existence independent of original crowds that generated them. Most disturbing is evidence that entities can manifest through photographic and video records themselves. Individuals viewing documentation of gatherings where entities appeared report subsequent personal encounters with those entities. Most disturbing was Dr. Whitmore's discovery that entity manifestation appeared to be accelerating in modern society. According to his private notes, contemporary public gatherings demonstrate manifestation rates significantly exceeding historical baseline. Modern crowds generate entities at approximately 5 times the rate documented in 19th century events. This acceleration correlates with increased collective anxiety, social fragmentation, and widespread psychological stress in contemporary populations. Dr. Whitmore's final assessment, found in his private papers, provided a warning that remains chillingly relevant. The 1889 Millbrook Parade documents evidence that human crowds can spontaneously generate entities that achieve independent existence through collective psychological energy. What began as isolated phenomenon at 19th century gatherings has evolved into systematic entity generation at contemporary public events. We may be populating our world with manifestations that possess increasing solidity, autonomy, and potential hostility toward the populations that generated them. The Ashford parade photographs remain in federal archives, classified at levels that prevent public access. According to sources within federal agencies, the photographs continue to generate new entity manifestations. Individuals viewing the images report subsequent encounters with the phantom clowns visible in the documentation, suggesting the entities have achieved existence independent of temporal constraints. Current federal crowd management programs include systematic monitoring for entity manifestation at large public gatherings. According to confidential sources, contemporary events, including political rallies,
Sporting events and entertainment gatherings are systematically observed for phantom performer manifestation. Detection protocols identify individuals who perceive entities not visible to baseline observers, allowing isolation of affected populations before manifestation outbreak can occur. Today, if you attend a parade or public gathering, count the performers carefully. Count them again. Compare your count with others around you. If your numbers differ significantly, if you see figures at the edges that others insist aren't there, if you notice performers whose movements seem wrong, or whose faces seem too still beneath their makeup, you may be witnessing manifestation. And once you've seen them, they will have seen you. They will know that you can perceive them. And they will begin appearing in your daily life, at windows, in reflections, at the edges of your vision. The phantom clowns that manifested in Millbrook in 1889 persisted for 6 months. Modern manifestations, fed by contemporary anxiety and amplified through documentation technology, may persist indefinitely. The clowns are still there, at every parade, every carnival, every gathering where crowds generate the psychological substrate that allows them to materialize. They stand at the edges, their faces painted with expressions that never change, their bodies moving with articulation that suggests joints bending in wrong directions. They are counting the spectators just as you are counting them. And the number never matches. It never will. Because for every clown you count, another manifests behind you, drawn by your attention, solidifying through your fear, achieving permanence through your recognition that something at this festive gathering is terribly, impossibly wrong. How many clowns do you see? Count again. The number has changed. It always changes. And with each recount, another materializes, another achieves existence. Another begins the slow process of becoming solid enough to reach out and touch you when you're alone, to remind you that you should never have counted them in the first place.